We don't want to be the biggest startup festival of Europe. We're trying to make the right connections between the right people. It has changed a lot, but I think the main goal remained the same. We really try to connect the ecosystem, bigger cities that can help you in your growth.
Welcome back to another episode of the Startup Passport by Econsulate. Today we're joined by Rory Heltzel-Groenen. You're the public lead for Rotterdam and the Upstream Festival. Thank you very much for joining today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
You have been involved with the Upstream Festival since the beginning, since 2021.
Yeah,
how has it been going and developing the festival itself?
Yes. So the first edition was during COVID. I wasn't there yet, but then afterwards we've had 5 live editions so far. Different locations, different amount of days. So we started with 5 days, then we went back to 3, then we are now with day 0 and day 1. And I think mostly everything has changed. So speakers, the setup, the way we organize it. So it has changed a lot, but I think the main goal remained the same. So we organize it for founders and we try to put the focus a bit more on that during the years, yeah.
And you're especially also doing that with your role at Rotterdam, helping founders. So that is an organization that helps startups and scale-ups grow, correct?
Yeah, that's true. So Rotterdam is mainly focusing on scale-ups. So that's a different phase than really the startup phase, where we organize gatherings, dinners, breakfasts. We take them on international missions, for example. So that's what we do with Rotterdam, and with Upstream we really try to connect the ecosystem during this week, where we also focus a bit more on startups.
And what is, from your experience, what is an ecosystem made of for entrepreneurs? Because it's not only the business connections that you have, but also things like the gemeentes, the cities themselves, maybe even sometimes governments come in.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to form an ecosystem or have the ecosystem present at the Upstream Festival, what kind of stakeholders are you inviting?
So I think our role as a city of Rotterdam is to facilitate the ecosystem to see. So it's happening over there. So we are not organizing much of it ourselves. The ecosystem is there, and the right players are there already. And I think we see that as our role. And if we look at the ecosystem, you see that there have been players who have been there for a longer time, but you also see that there's new players. If there's new needs or new ideas for to help founders, also new things or new organizations pop up. And yeah, we try to help them in organizing things in the best way for the founder. Yeah.
And why do you think Rotterdam is a good place to scale, in case you do?
Yeah, of course I do. If you look at Rotterdam and then especially the region, I think it's a very interesting region. So if you look at the province of South Holland, there's 3 universities. There's 2 technical universities. So the University Delft and Leiden, they provide a lot of technical spin-outs and a lot of entrepreneurial background from an educational perspective, I would say. So that's, I think, where it starts. But then you have cities like Rotterdam and The Hague where you can really grow. So that's the bigger cities that can help you in your growth. We have the port of Rotterdam, of course. So I think it's a very interesting playing field that makes it an interesting region to really scale your business.
And talking about growing, how are the plans for the Upstream Festival during the next years? I guess that is also always thought about after the current edition that is still happening.
Yep.
But with keeping everything in mind, you just said that having already Rotterdam as a great place to grow, also strategically located. How's it looking with the Upstream Festival itself?
So going back to your first question, I think in the past 5 years, we've grown as a festival. We are happy with the people that are visiting the festival, the founders that find us. And I think that's where we want to grow. So we don't particularly want to grow to a very large festival with a lot of people. I think we really try to curate it as much as possible. So we're trying to make the right connections between the right people. So I think that's most important for us, instead of like growing in the quantity and numbers of visitors. We try to grow in quality.
making it as meaningful as possible for
Yes,
the
so
people
and I
attending.
think it's our challenge to get more relevant people and relevant investors and relevant startups on board. I think that's where we can really grow, but we don't want to be the biggest startup festival of Europe, for example. Yeah.
And when you work with so many founders, you speak to a lot of entrepreneurs, I assume. Does that sometimes tickle you yourself a little bit when you think maybe it's also something that I would be interested in starting my own company?
Yeah, so I'm in a quite unique spot to be like with one leg I'm in within the public space, and then with one leg I'm in the entrepreneurial space, which is also a place where I can do a lot of good work, I think. So for me, it's also a nice place where you can, for me, I can make a difference. It's the best of both worlds for now. Yeah, but you get inspired, of course. Yeah.
But for now, it seems like you're going to stay in there because you have, as you said, the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and I think it's a unique and also very special place to help the ecosystem and make that thrive. So that's yeah, it's a cool place to be.
Exactly. And I think that's also a good place to wrap it up. So thank you very much for joining, giving us all the information on Up Rotterdam and especially the festival, of course.
Yes, thank you for having me.